Hi everybody, it's Diane. I am here to participate in Susan's open collaboration with clusters on Wednesdays, and this is the first time I've done that, so hi to any new viewers. Thank you, Susan. Clusters, in case you don't know, is exactly what it sounds like. You just take papers, fabrics, trims, a combination, and sort of cluster them. In other words, layer. Usually there's a focal thing, and then very often they're stapled. I may staple, I may glue, I may do both, I'm not sure. Susan does have prompts, which she said are optional, so I am opting out. Today's is supposed to be holiday. I had thought about doing Halloween. I might in a separate video maybe, I don't know. But I didn't know that I would have a big use for them, but it does sound kind of fun. But anyway, so I'm going with a theme that I'm sure is very few people's cup of tea. But today, coincidentally enough, September 29th, is the inaugural National Silent Movie Day. I'm sure that does not interest a lot of people watching right now. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's great they've done this, and I don't know why they didn't do it before. But anyway, I was kind of thinking of doing a separate video about that, and I thought, well, I'll, combine the two. So I'm going to make clusters with silent movie stars. These are all off the internet, and I'll point out who they are as we go, because I'm sure not too many people know. But anyway, I thought this could be a little challenging because it's people, as the focal image. I've never really seen that, so we'll see how it comes out. All right, this first one, anybody? I will say that's a bit of a different look for her. It's Mabel Normand. I'm not going to talk about these people. I really could. I'd like to, but I have a feeling my audience would get bored. They don't care, so I'm not going to discuss. Mabel Normand. I also have a deck of these oversized cards, which once upon a time I did do a video making giant APCs with them, but they are so heavily coated. I don't know if you can tell that by the sheen. Stuff just does not want to glue to them, so you really have to sand it off. I hate doing stuff like that. That's too much like busy work. It's not creating when you're sanding. So I kind of thought if I'm doing the staple stuff, then it wouldn't matter. And it's a fairly substantial base. So I'm going to cut one in half. Let me step over here and do that. And we'll kind of take it from there and see if that's good, if it's dumb, if it's too big. Could be too big. But I think I may use that as a base. I might change my mind. I don't know. I have some scrappy fabric over here. I have my scrap box, which is scrapbook paper mostly here. I've got my little collage saved images thing here. So, and this is one of my painted papers. It's on a grocery bag. To be honest, I've done very little of this clustering technique. So, I'm not sure how this will come out because I'm not that proficient at it. But I thought it sounded fun. It's relatively easy that I remember doing. And since I haven't done a lot of it, I thought maybe this would be a good excuse to practice. So, all that being said, oh, there's a film. I do have some film-related scrapbook paper, but the idea with these two is to sort of use up scraps, unless you want to make a really big one. So I didn't really want to cut into anything large. And how much you want to layer stuff up is entirely up to you. This is an actual, I think you can see it, a 4x5 negative from a commercial studio. It's from probably, oh, I don't know, the early 2000s. I have a stack of these from a friend of mine. Hi, friend. But I thought, I know it's not film, you know, 35 millimeter film or anything, but it might look, you know, enough film related to get away with it. And another little disclaimer, I am not very good at one staple collages at all. I think, I guess it's my background more. I'm not used to just layering things so they'll all be adhered by one staple. I tend to make more of a composition type thing. Does that make any sense? And then it won't be held by one staple. So I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Like I said, I can glue and stuff. There's no rule really on how to do it. But yeah, so far I think it looks okay. Did not know how using a portrait, a person, was going to come off, but I think it looks all right. What do you think? It's not bad. Let's take a little strip of this. And just for the record, there was one of these last week too on Susan's channel, and I missed it. Well, I saw it on that day through Brittany's channel. Hi, Brittany. But it was too late for me to do it, participate, so here we are. I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, do I want to staple? I mean, obviously, I could staple right there. That would catch everything right there. But then you have major flappage. So what I think Diane is going to do is just set it aside, and I will possibly put in a staple more for interest, and then add some glue so we don't have, I mean, this is very thin paper, so I don't want something tearing it over time. But okay, there's Mabel. That's kind of cute. Whoops. Don't slide off. You'll mess up my great composition. Okay, let's go on to the next person. Anybody know who that is? She goes way back. That's Theta Bara or Bara. I've heard it pronounced both ways. Also known as the Vamp. And you can see how the heavy eye makeup, that's more from the 19-teens. I know, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. Alright, I don't like that so much because this is like sepia and the picture is not. Okay, we'll save that for somebody else. Alright, Theta. And if I think of it, I will put a link in my description area of the National Silent Movie Day.org. If anyone really is interested, it's a nice site. It's not real wordy and confusing and has no ads, but it's information about the day and a little information about silent movies. So if you really want to go look. Yeah, I know I said I didn't like the other thing because it was off white, but that's kind of cool. And if you never thought of it, I will say this. If you are at all a history buff or into vintage fashion, silent movies are very cool for that. Good resource. right, let's take a poll. Anybody that wants to chime in the comments. Have you ever watched a silent movie? Just yes or no. Yeah, that matches, but I just don't really care for it with that. No. Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe even over. It did cross my mind to use book text too. I've got a little bit of scrappy stuff here. No, I think we're getting too many straight edges. That's better. I may trim that. Because if I want the 3 to show, then to me, there's too much space there. Alright, well, what if she got part of this negative? Yeah. Except I still think we're getting a lot of corners. Are you seeing that? So what could we do to camouflage corners? Not that. Well, anything in here? And for any new people, I do have a lot of other materials, but like I said, I'm trying to use scraps. It's kind of neat. I almost think that needs like a number, a word, something like that. Just something kind of random. Of course, everyone's going to go, what does 11-15 have to do with Theta Bara? And Diane's going to go, nothing. I just thought it looked good there. I should save that for Jack Benny, shouldn't I? Everyone's going, Jack who? Do you know anybody from this century? No. Well, I do think I like the bolder number. She definitely could take that with her eyes and her hair there. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. All right. Don't slide around. Okay, next. Now, some of you must know who he is, and if you don't, I'm going to be very upset. That means you never watch my channel. That's Buster Keaton. And I did think for him, K, right? K for Keaton. All right, let me cut this card. Well, I don't know, Buster. And I suppose this is going to take a while, isn't it? Diane always tends to do that. I bite off more than my audience wants to chew, I think. Well, what about something a little goofy, like these arrows? And if you've never seen a silent film, and you're interested in a silent film, I would highly recommend one of Buster's short comedies from the 1920s. They're short. They're funny. They're good. I think it's too big unless I'm going to split them apart. What about just the black and white? And I'll throw this out there too. If you have absolutely no interest in silent movies or movie stars, keep in mind this is still, you know, a collage process. You could use, you know, a postage stamp, a scrap of paper image, a magazine image. Just because you don't know who Buster Keaton is doesn't mean you can't enjoy and watch and all that stuff. All right, I like that. Does he need a number? Maybe. Well, are there any numbers that have Buster's significance? Let's see. Well, 1923 he made his first feature film with his studio. Well, he made Convict 13. Alright, that's pretty cool. I think we need something right there. Maybe a little fabric for added dimension or texture. Yeah. Okay. And when these are all done, if they don't look exactly as you see them right now, I'm sorry. Sometimes stuff gets jumbled up or I change my mind or things like that. Does anybody know who that is? It's Mary Pickford. And I thought maybe I'd do, she's kind of the queen of silent movies. It's pretty. I don't think that goes with a girl so much. No. That's kind of wacky. Yeah, it's too wacky. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Diana. This is wacky. No, I don't like that either. There's an old camera. This is a still camera. Well, that's kind of pretty. Too light. It's not bad. Well, what about this camera? Crooked. In case you're new here, Diane does not like crooked things. I don't know, I'd say that's great. It's okay. Maybe that. She needs a big lace something that I don't have. There's a little lace thing. Well, it's not really bad. I still think we need something over that corner, though. Is just a vast nothingness. Alright. Alright, Mary, is that good for you? Kind of. Okay. Alright, who's next? Alright, some of you should know who that is, too. Do I hear any answers out there? That's Rudolph Valentino. And since he was known as the Latin lover, I thought I could put him on a heart card. Actually, that's a little small. They don't really show. Maybe there. Although he wasn't Latin, he was from Italy. Kind of cool. We're at 22 minutes already, folks. I don't know. I don't know. Stuff just takes me longer. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Well, you know, these processes, they do take time. I think, you know, if you don't do that, maybe you don't understand. At least for some of us, they do. Okay, well, he could stand something on the photo, don't you think? Like that. And any Rudy numbers that I'm seeing? Okay, no. Alright, Rudolph, you don't get a number. Well, what about maybe a film piece behind that? Give it a little authenticity, even though this is an actual film. Alright, let's tighten this up. That's better. Yeah, he needs what? Flour or something up there, I think. No, I've got postage stamps too over here. Did I say that? I might have said that. I'm sorry. What would a stamp look like? Just, oh, I don't know. It would be okay, but I don't know if I can find one I'm going to want to use. Actually, those colors are good, but I don't know what Leif Erikson has to do with Rudolph Valentino. See, this is why this stuff takes so long, because Diane's way too fussy. And some of my loyal viewers will attest to that, right? No, I don't like that color. Now, if I don't find one in this stack, I'll put Rudolph aside and look by myself for little accent thing over there. That's not bad. What do you think of that? I think we still need something behind that red stamp, is what I think. Such as, I don't know, a number. No, that's too small. Yeah, he needs, what? Butterfly? No. Alright, I'll look through this little section back here quick, because it's more focal stuff. If I can't find something, I'll put Rudolph aside. What about a compass thing? Well, I won't fuss the cut. Nah, this is starting to look a little too... stuff just going up the side, you know what I'm saying? Alright, I'll do something like that. Okay. Running out of space over there. How many do I have left? 2. You want to stay through 2 more? We're almost at a half hour. I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling nobody's going to get this one. It's pearl white, which may not mean anything to anybody. But does the Perils of Pauline mean anything to anybody? These are the original Perils of Pauline Girl. Actually, I like this. It's the rest of that film strip paper, but there's no film on it. It's kind of cool. So I don't know. Are there any opinions out there? Am I not really doing clusters? To me, I am. Oh. Let's see what's in this collage box that I haven't touched yet. That would be pretty bizarre, wouldn't it? Sometimes it's fun to do stuff like that. Totally off. Oh, there's a little film thing. Maybe we'll put that in the next one. Maybe we'll put that on the next one. Maybe I should be doing the next one. Well, what about that? I think I would ink this up to age it, but I won't take time to do that if I'm using it. I may not use this border, but let's see. Well, I don't know. Maybe I will use the border. It's kind of cool. This means something behind. This old wrapping paper. That's okay, but you see what I'm saying? There's no way that could be a one staple collage. So, you know, am I doing it all wrong? I don't know which way this goes. Does anybody know which way this goes? This way? Yeah, this way, I think. This is just looking like it's bordering her off. I don't really like that. That's a little better. Okay, I may tweak that, but okay, we'll move on though. Alright, does anybody know who that is? That one... I would think you might know. What happened to that other card? I guess that's it. I thought I had another spade that was cut in half, but I guess I didn't. Well, I'm going to cut a club in half because I think I want black with that. It is Lillian Gish. No, too dark. No. Well, so what do you think so far? Do you think these using people portraits is okay? Like I said before, I do. I think it's working out all right. Might be nice on a vintage journal to find, you know, an old sepia type photo and do that for a journaling card or something like that. Oh, is that too light? Yeah, that's too light. Well, this is kind of interesting. Alright, it's too big. Or long, however you want to look at that. Yeah, that's better. In case you're hearing any banging, I still have walnuts falling. They should be done pretty soon. At least we're hoping. How about a little calendar popping up above her? Now that's kind of cool. Actually, I like that. I think it just needs something there, don't you think? Like a vase of flowers, maybe. It's pretty. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause the camera. I will staple and glue probably the stuff down. Come back. Oh, I forgot. I was going to put this on there. I do that all the time. Do we need it now? Maybe I should print off one more person and put these on there. Maybe I'll do that. Who should I pick? Okay, I'll be back and we'll do a show and tell. Okay, I'm back. They're essentially done, but I want to add a little schmutzy paint. I don't know, is that acceptable? It is in my world, so just a little bit, and I'll explain all these in a little bit, like who is this? And this was I should get somebody else to use those roses and what was it, that film. No, I'm not using a brush, am I? I don't know, am I breaking all the rules? Is everyone going, okay. Well, maybe some people are going, oh, that's cool, I never thought of that. I know, they just, not that these look pristine or anything, but I think some of the dark areas are a little too dark to me. Like in contrast. I don't know, some people might think that's fine or like it. Okay, I actually thought to get a little wet paper towel here to get rid of the gesso so I can pick these up. I'm impressed. Okay, so it's Pearl White, the Perils of Pauline lady. I did add some flowers. Most of these I added a little bit. They're not exactly how I left it with you. It's Mary Pickford. I added these flowers here. This is Buster. I added the little pointing hand there. It's Rudolph. That's a catalog stamp. Added that. And as you can see, like, he has 2 staples. Everyone has at least 1. And then I did glue some because I can't do clusters in one collage or staple collages correctly. I mean, there's no way I could have caught all this stuff. That's Theta Bara again. Mabel Norman. Lillian Gish. I added that. No, you saw that. That's right, you saw that. Okay, and these are the 2 new ones. I started with this. Can anybody tell me who this is? It's Gloria Swanson. So I added her to the, oh, I forgot the border and the strip thing. I think that's pretty cool. And actually, can you see that? This is scrapbook paper. I thought it looked appropriate to the era. And then in trying to find stuff for this, I found this and had Fearless on it. And I thought, oh, Fearless, that, you know, that might describe somebody. Yeah, like Fearless Flow. It's hard to tell. That's not the best picture of her face, but I liked the picture. It's Florence LeBady. Probably no one's ever heard of her. But anyway, her nickname was Fearless Flow. So I thought that was pretty cool. So all in all, I'm very pleased with these. I'd love to go on and make, 50 more. Thanks. But I don't have time, and you probably don't have time, and I don't really need 50 more of these, although they're very cool. But I think maybe I'll continue, make another video and do Halloween. I don't know. So if I do that, it'll probably be up tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, here they are. I like them. I do need to work on my one stapleness. I know that. Thank you, Susan and Brittany, for letting me find Susan. I will list Susan's information downstairs there in the description area, so you can go find her. She will list other participants, which I should probably go watch so I can learn how to do this better, right? Okay, thanks for indulging me in my theme. I hope everyone has a nice day out there.